so our next situation is how do we get this thing to print 5 here and then a 4, the opposite column. Again, order of operations, the way we have it right now, is just going to print the stars. So we don't want stars, right? We want spaces here. So what do we need? We need another for loop, right? So now we need a for loop that creates a space. We can call it integer, I guess, k equals 1. K smaller than equal to something, right? So to what? When first time around, we want there's a total of 6 spaces, right? Because our parameter is 6, the star is 6. So we want star, right? And minus what is our variable? J, right? Minus J. Okay, I'm going to explain that in a second. So what that does, okay, is let's write out, we want print, right? And we want a space. I'm just going to create a space. So we want this space in here. The first time around, we wanted 5, and then we want it. So this guy up here, his job now is it tells this first for loop to create 5 spaces because we got star. The count on that is 6, right? When it starts. Okay, but we get minus J. J at that point is 1. So the count for this guy at this point is going to be 5. So it's going to print 5 empty spaces. Then it finishes his task. Then task goes to this guy, and since the count here is 1, it's just going to do 1 star. So then when it goes back, our count of J is 2, right? So 6 minus 2 is 4 now, so it's going to create 4 spaces, and then here the count is 2 now, right? So it's going to create 2 stars, and then 3 stars, So well, let me see if okay, let's see what happens here. I think I made a mistake. I usually make mistakes. Oh, okay. So it's backwards, right? And then you might, well, I don't know, we could get fancy, I guess. Maybe you could change that stuff. I don't know, you could do crazy things. You can create a space. So then what's going to happen is after this going to be a space. After this guy, there's going to be a space. So this will push to 1. And after each one of these, so it'll be like a bigger pyramid, I guess. Or let me see. So that's one way you could, like that. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do. You can play around with this, and like I said, just make sure you have fun with this. Do it like a homework, so it doesn't stress you out. So I think that's really the only way. Whatever else you want to do, you have to sit there and it's gonna take time. Depending on what shape you're trying to do, you have to sit here and figure this part out. Okay, and that's not something you do in 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it's going to take you 20 minutes to figure this what needs to go in here. But you just sit there in your head and figure out what kind of spaces you need on both sides, and you'll figure it out. It just takes time. That's all there's to it. So that should pretty much cover that, because I just don't want you to forget all this stuff we talked about while waiting. Okay, thanks.